Welcome back guys, Harry here, known as Trade Shop, and this has been a highly requested video, which is my trading zone video. Now, I've covered this not in depth. I've talked about it in my full price action guide. I've talked about it in different videos, especially my LTA videos, which stands for low traffic area. But in this video, and I get a lot of questions, Harry, I see you post analysis. How do you get your trading zones and how do you find zones where to trade in? Because when you come to the charts, you just can't trade anywhere. You have to have specific setups and you have to be trading in specific zones. So I'm going to go in depth in this video and tell you exactly how I find my zones and what is my thought process. And it's actually quite simple, but it will help you guys a lot in trading. No matter where you trade, you need to be able to identify your zones, identify the trend, and apply your strategy in those zones, because this is going to give you the highest probability to win your trades whilst trading. So with that being said, let's get straight into this video. Alright guys, so as always, before we start, you know the drill. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. There's plenty of content on the channel. Please feel free to visit and use that content to your advantage. Leave a subscribe, I really do appreciate it. And if you're coming back, I would appreciate it if you would leave a like, or if you're new here also to leave a like. If we can get this video past 100 likes, that would really show me that you do appreciate this video. If you have any questions and want to see my daily analysis and want to see what we're doing on a daily basis, you can join the free groups down below. There's a Discord and Telegram, both are the same, just to your preference. So with that, all of that out the way, my Instagram is there. I post video updates and some trade updates sometimes. Let's get into trading zones. So when it comes to trading zone, the first thing you need to understand is how to identify if we're bullish or bearish. This is going to be very, very important, right? So to identify if we're bullish or bearish is going to start from the daily candles, right? Trend is going to make sense, but we're not going to be trading, if this is a bullish trend long term, right? Higher low, it doesn't matter, because what are we going to wait all of this and miss all of these sell opportunities to catch the higher low? No, it doesn't make sense. So we'll actually be trading within these daily candles, so we need to concentrate on the daily candles here. But what's important is what range do we have. So we can see that this is obviously a daily support here. So if we're looking at a daily time frame, we know that if we are closing this daily candle here, right? So let's take this candle for example. If we're closing this daily candle here on the daily time frame, we only have this space to trade. This becomes our trading zone when looking for sells, because this is our next support. We don't want to be trading at daily support, and this is what people miss out. And how do I identify this zone? Well, as you can see, there's a clean candle here. There's nothing stopping this candle except for this support here. So this is our zone, and this zone is going to be 47 pips. So unless we're trading below this zone, this is going to be on that day our target based on a daily time frame. Now when you're trading a session, right, because as traders we trade a session, you're trading 1 4-hour candle. So that means, and that's how a session normally works, if because there's a dead time between when the next session opens. But so the next time frame that's going to be important for you guys is to be able to check the 4-hour time frame. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down to the 4-hour time frame, and you're going to see, all right, what do we have on the 4-hour time frame? Well, obviously it's very clear. You can see we have a support here, and below the support, this is the same daily support we marked up. So your trading zone becomes this whole zone in here. This is your now current trading zone in the session, right? So this is going to be your trading zone, because you don't know if price can get below this till it does it. So once price gets below it, your new trading zone becomes from here to here, because these are where the clean candles are. So these are the zones, and these are how I mark up my chart. So when I send my analysis, these are the zones I look for to trade in. I look to trade in these simple zones. So now you know that, okay, on the 4-hour, this is my zone, this is the range. You know that if this 4-hour is closing bearish, at minimum it has the chance to push down to here as a minimum target, right? Extension can happen, but minimum we can get to here. So then after that 4-hour time frame, that just leads you on to your entry time frame. So are you going to enter on the 1-hour, the 30-minute, the 15-minute close? So for example, let's say we're going to enter on the 30-minute close. So we see on the 30-minute it is the same clean area. We know, fine, anything breaking this low here, anything breaking this area here should give us the option to sell. First target will be here, second target will be the daily support. So if we take a position like this, this whole area becomes our trading zone. If we see reaction at this point here, we know to close the trade, because that's our zone. But on the daily time frame, we should have the space to fill all the way down into here. So let's just go see what happened. And we go next candle, still hasn't broke the low. Okay, we broke the low, we tapped this support. So this was our target, first target. If we start seeing rejection, this is why we mark out our trading zone. So we know there's no continuation. Price can't continue below this until we create resistance below, will give us our next target. But we'll see if we that happens. But if you were really in this trade, as soon as we tap this area, you would go break even, right? Because uh, you know, that's the plan. And then you would re-enter once it goes, or you'd re-enter at the break of the lows again here and stop loss above here. So that would be another option. But let's see what happens next candle. As you see, we reject this zone. So this is why it's very important to have your trading zone starting from the 4-hour, because anyone would have, you know, I would get messages saying, Harry, you say that this is a low LTA here. This is clean candles. How come it didn't get filled? Because you're not checking the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame only gave you options to this support here, and you get stopped out. So this is how you have to mark up your zones. Your zones are more important on higher time frames than on the lower time frames. You can't ignore the, you know, I get people on 5 minutes saying, oh, 5 minute was clear. We had clear candles on the 5 minute. How come it didn't work? Well, look how accurately the 5 minute rejected off the support. I never even drew this support on the 5 minute. You guys saw me mark this up on the 4-hour, but look where it rejects. It exactly rejects the 4-hour support. This is why it's very, very important to mark these zones here, right? This is why it's important to have these accurate zones, because once price taps, any rejection here, you'll break even, right? You close the trade, the next entry will come once we start breaking below this position here, right? So this is going to be your next entry, and if we go on 30-minute time frame, we have to wait for that. So let's see what happens if we get below. Nothing. Hopefully we get a close below, so we'll see if we can get a close. That's the close. Now we should be able, if we respect this high here, we should be able now to push down and fill this next zone, because we're closing below, because this is our next trading zone. If we're below this zone, the next zone we marked on daily, and if you look here on 30-minute, we are fine all the way down to this zone here. So ideally we should be able to fill this zone. So what happens? We fill it in one candle. It's as simple as that, right? And you can see how that played out. It's zone to zone, and this is how you mark out your zones. You have the clean candles. Clean candles mean there should be no obstruction on the way down, but it's very important that those clean candles also match on your higher time frames. The daily and 4-hour are your key time frames. You need to have clean candles and also on your trading time frame. So what I mean by that, and this is how I'm going to end the video after showing this example, because I think that's very, very clear, and you can see how that trade played out. Very simple trade here, zone to zone, right? Now what I mean, you need to have clean candles. Let's say the 4-hour time frame. All right, we'll take an example like this. Let's say the 4-hour time frame looks something like this. So let's rewind to here. You know that you have your next support is going to be somewhere around here. This is your next support. This is clean all the way down to here, so you can expect the next 4-hour candle to come down and fill this zone. But if you're going on the 1-hour time frame, you can see it's also clean on the 1-hour time frame, so we can expect it. But let's say we're entering on the 15-minute time frame, and you see these wick rejections and this support here. This is not clean on the 15-minute time frame here. This is not clean. This is a support here. You need to wait for it to get below your support to fill these candles, right? So once it gets below the support, here's below the support, you can expect a pullback and then continue, right? So there's the pullback, and now we should expect it to continue after this candle, right? So see exactly that, and it filled zone to zone. Very, very, very simple here, guys. And you know, why did I say you can expect pullback to continue? Because that's how price action works. Creates new low, pullbacks, continues, right? So that's why I always try, you know, if you watch my videos, I show entering on pullbacks, but it's very important to make sure that the zone was validated first, right? You have to make sure that this zone is closed below, then you can get the clean move, and then your zone will be filled respecting this structure here, right? So once the structure is respected, you can trade zone to zone. That came from the 4-hour, 1-hour, and then the 15-minute time frame. This was the important closure right here. Right, so this is the closure that was very, very important here, which gave you the option to be able to fill this whole zone here, which you can see happened in this one candle again. So that's very, very smooth price action, and this is why trading zones are very, very important. Now, a lot of people are going to skip this video because they think they know it all, and they will miss a lot of key information here. A lot of key information of how to ideally pick your zones coming from 4-hour and daily time frames, but you have to make sure that you have clean candles on your trading time frame as well, right? So 5 minute does not count. 5 minute is only a time frame for entry, not for confirmation, in my opinion. Okay, so unless you're trading more advanced, which is not going to be covered in this video, and it's different, you can use it for entry, but that's a bit of a different story. So with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to leave it off at there. It's very simple, and I want to make it clear. If you guys are still around, thanks for sticking around. If you can do anything to help get this video, because I want people to watch this video. People are going to think, oh, trading zones, I know where to trade. But in reality, it's like such small information. It's like the fundamentals, and they're going to miss out on these fundamentals and end up not being able to have as accurate as we are. You see, zone to zone, we get rejection. What happens next? We fill the wick and reject. You see this now, this whole zone that we marked up from higher time frame is becoming a rejection zone. You have people then trying to sell here. Oh, price broke down, I'm selling. They're all getting in trouble here trying to sell. So this is why we need to have our trading zones accurate. And if we continue the candles, you can see this whole zone becomes rejection all day rejection. But we knew why it would reject at this support here, because we marked it up. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it off at that. Hope this video helped, guys. Take care, trade sharp, and until next time, peace.